lasting impression they made on you as a coaching staff through that whole week?
Oh yeah, it was an awesome experience. Being able to meet Coach Campbell, Coach Johnson, Coach Brunell, the QB coach. Spent a lot of time with those guys. Was able to learn a lot offensive-wise, some of their plays, some of the ways that they do things on the offensive side. And looking back at that week, it was definitely a once in a lifetime, kind of like a dream come true type of thing.
Do you think that helps you prepare for the off season, this event or whatever, just being in that kind of NFL system for a whole week?
100%. Just kind of being used to it, being familiar with it. So when I do see some of those things, I'm familiar. Like I said, I've seen it before, and kind of speed up the learning process.
I'm curious with the jump from FCS to FBS. What was the biggest, I guess, difference, the most difficult part of the transition, and how do you think it could benefit you when you make the next jump?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, of course, was the speed of the game. The speed of the defenses, speed of the defensive guys, speed of the offense. Being able to get there in the spring, in January, really helped me get the spring ball, really kind of getting used to that. And I think how that will kind of help me prepare is, the jump to the NFL. NFL is the greatest sport. Football is the greatest sport in the world. You're playing against the best athletes in the entire world, and making that jump, speed of the games, and be different. A lot of things are going to be different. So I'm just, I'm excited for that opportunity, and I'm really ready to take advantage of it.
When critics say, "Hey, you played in like an air raid college system, this doesn't translate to the NFL," how do you respond to that?
I smile like I am right now. There's kind of a misconception about the air raid, kind of the air raid tree that we ran with Coach Kitley. We did a lot of stuff that a lot of people do in the NFL and other offenses in college. We did a lot of peer progression stuff. He gave me a lot of opportunities checking in out of plays, read defenses, peer progressions, and some of the stuff that would carry over to the NFL. We did a lot of that stuff. Yeah, so when he got the OC job, that's kind of when I, got into the transfer portal. He was the first guy to call me, of course. His kind of pitch to me was, why not come throw 600 times in a year again? So that's kind of what I wanted to do one more time. I heard from other schools, but just being able to have that connection, have that relationship that I have with Coach Kitley, and then, of course, being able to talk to Coach Helton, being surrounded by the teammates that I had was, something that I really wanted to be involved with that program. And, it's the best decision I've ever made going to Western Kentucky.
Bailey, Carson Strong earlier was saying he thinks this quarterback class is a lot stronger than people are giving it credit for. I guess, do you agree with that you guys are maybe going to surprise some people?
I 100% agree with that. There's, of course, there's media and all that stuff, but I believe that from top to bottom, this is a really good class, a lot of depth in this class, and, I'm really excited to go through this whole process with these guys and see how everybody's careers go.
As you've been talking to teams and really just reflecting on everything that happened in December in that part of the state, the emotional time, how much have you thought about it, and have teams asked you about it, and just that perseverance that all you guys kind of showed?
Talking about
just with the tornadoes and everything that the community went through.
Yeah, it was a tough stretch of time, of course. That kind of hit right before we left for the bowl game. So we weren't able to really get out there and help the community as much as we wanted to. So once we did the bowl game, bowl week and everything, we got back and tried to do as much as we could. I haven't been back to Bowling Green since then. I'll be back there in a few weeks, so I'm going to do as much as I can to help as much as I can if the help is needed.
Yep. You consider it compliment how you're getting
100%. The greatest player of all time is a game manager, Tom Brady.
Bailey, are the NFL teams asking you about how the offense you played in college will translate for what you're going to do in the NFL? Do they have questions about that at all?
Yes, sir. Most of it is just curiosity, just asking some of the stuff that we've done on the offensive side these past 4 years being in the offense. A little bit just being curious, and of course, just trying to see how, I'll be able to, translate, the stuff that we did to the NFL level, and how I'm going to be able to, pick up some of the offenses that they run. But, I love the game of football. I love learning, and I'm really excited to be able to learn those type of offenses.
What do you think are the most important attributes a quarterback needs to have to succeed in the NFL?
I think the main thing, look at the greats. They had leadership. That's number one thing. Decision making, ball placement, limiting turnovers, knowledge of the game. Just those, there's about 4 or 5 things that are the most important stuff. And, I feel like I carry those in my game, but of course there's a lot of room for improvement and all that. And, I'm just really excited to have this opportunity and continue my career.
Bailey, what's been the biggest surprise so far in the pre-draft process, and how has Nicole helped you navigate it?
I think the biggest surprise is just being here. I mean, I've dreamt of this moment since I was 5 or 6 years old when I first started playing football. And Nicole's been awesome. That's another decision I'll never regret, signing with her, signing with Clutch. And, we text every day. I ask her questions. I probably ask her more questions than anybody that she has. So I'm sure I annoy her with some questions, but, she's amazing. We'll never regret signing with her. She's awesome.
Bailey, has that something that you're the passing record holder for college football? Is that something
Not really. I haven't been able to kind of reminisce on that. It's kind of been a fast process. The bowl game ended. I went home. About 2 weeks later, I was going to Mobile to train. So it's kind of been a fast process. When I get back to Western Kentucky with the guys, with the coaches, I'm sure we'll sit down and kind of just reminisce a little bit. But, this is something that I've been dreaming of since I can remember 5 years old playing football. So this process has been surreal, once in a lifetime.
Bailey, he's not here right now, but what would you say about Jared? What does he bring?
I'm biased, but I believe he's one of the best receivers in this draft. He does such amazing things on the offensive side, from route running, catching the ball. He's somebody that I depended on a lot for my the 4 years that we played together, and just being able to have the receiver like him on my side, be able to throw to a guy like that is awesome. You always, as a quarterback, that's the kind of guy you always want. And I know he's gonna have a great career. He works his butt off to get where he's at now, and I know he's gonna continue to do that. And whichever team gets him is gonna have a diamond.
You look at the success of quarterbacks like Joe and Jalen. Do you feel okay with getting Jared back on the team?
I wouldn't say no, that's for sure. We can bring him on.
Bailey, you met with the Cowboys this week, and if so, how was that for you?
Yes, ma'am. I met with them in the informal meetings, but it was awesome. Be able to just answer questions, get to build relationships, get to meet some of those coaches, get to meet some of the scouts, and it was a fun moment.
Bailey, you listed ball placement in one of those attributes for great quarterbacks. How would you describe that part of your game, your ball placement?
Yeah, so ball placement can be anything from, you got a DB on your inside shoulder for your receiver on a fade. You got a DB inside of you want to put it on his outside shoulder. Kind of put your player in the ball, your player in between the ball and the defender. Make it to where your guy can only catch it, and throw a good enough ball where he can catch it. And it goes to every bit of throwing it low and away from DBs, away from anybody that can affect the ball, deflect the ball. Just kind of those little things. Just putting the ball where it needs to be. It not necessarily always has to be in the chest. Not always has to be, where everybody thinks it has to be in the chest or in the head. It could always be 1 foot in front of the numbers. Is kind of how we did it at Western Kentucky. So that's kind of how I would describe ball placement.
How much fun is it for a quarterback to play in that kind of offense at Western Kentucky, and how do you think that prepares you for the next level, just that wide open?
Yeah, I don't think there's a single quarterback in the history that wouldn't want to throw 680 times in a season. It's amazing. Coach Kelly gave me, like he liked to say, keys to a Lamborghini. I was able to check in and out of plays, whatever I saw fit, whatever I saw the defense was doing. And I think how that kind of translates to the NFL is, just kind of the knowledge of the game part, being able to read defenses, be able to see where the defense is in pre-snap. And I think that will continue to help me throughout my career in the NFL and just recognizing what the defense is doing against us.
Does your arm get tired?
Say what?
Does your arm get tired?
No, I've conditioned it well enough for the last 4 years to, get ready for that. So, yes, sir.
Bailey, what's it like being here? What do you kind of hope to show teams here over the course of the next couple of days?
Being here is a dream come true. Like I said before, it's something I've dreamed of since I first started playing football, and kind of what I want to do with teams is continue to build the relationships, especially in the meetings and the interviews. Just build the relationships, continue to talk to them. I know after this we're going to continue to talk through Zoom and all that stuff, and continue to get to know each other. But just trying to answer every question they have about the offense, about my game, and just continue to build that relationship past this.